Well, hi folks, thanks for joining me. You may have seen a few of Universal Rock videos before. If not, I'm Stuart Dunn, the creator of Universal Rocks, and what I have here is one of 23 different size ledge backgrounds. And in previous videos, if you've watched on YouTube or on our website, you'll see the fact that I'm showing how you can bend these backgrounds, and they're fantastic for that reason, that you can put them in tanks that have a center brace in them. So particularly the larger size tanks that have a center brace, it's very difficult to get a background in there if it doesn't bend, and this one does. Okay, but it's taken me 15 years and I've finally come up with a real high density polyurethane foam that can go in the smaller tanks. It can go in all the tanks, but it will not bend, and I have those pieces beside me here. Exact same ledge, a little bit bigger, but same style, the ledge background here. Okay, it can't be bent, okay, so you can't try and bend it into your tank. But just like this tank here, it has no center brace in it, so it's not necessary, and I'll show you in a little while how easy that is to just slot straight into the tank. Put some clips over the top of it's a fish tank, put some gravel at the bottom, and it's foam, so it will want to float. But what happens is the edge of the glass here, the trim there, stops it from floating. So in actual fact, all these years I've been feeling that I can never use a foam background in a fish tank. I can, and I've been doing that, and it's working fantastic. So have a good look at that. Got some great ledges on it, so it forms these beautiful caves here for the fish to swim under and over. And if it's for a reptile tank, same again, you know, you have your heat light above here. They love to sun themselves on top of these ledges, and then also you put a few plants and other rocks in behind. That gives them a place to hide. So exact same molds of all the others that I've been using with the flexible background, but now with a rigid material, and much more price sensitive. Okay, so I think we've never got really into the smaller tanks, for the price as I'd say inhibited us getting into the 10 gallon and 15 gallon and 20 gallon tanks. But now with this new material and the same products that we've got and had for many years, I think you'll see this is the way to go if you have some smaller tanks that you'd like to set up. So let me put this to the side. Okay. Also, our backgrounds haven't in 15 years packaged them, so at the moment they're coming in a shrink wrap package, which for the end user that doesn't matter, but for the retail shop it stands up and looks a lot better in the shop. So here we have the instructions. This video, which will be posted on our website and on YouTube, will pretty much I'll show you exactly what we're doing there, and then on the front is better than a box. You see the whole product, which I think the product sells better than any pictures. So that's our rocky background, 21 sizes. Our ledge background, 23 sizes, and all of our other products can come also in this rigid foam. So let's get started. First thing you should do whenever you put something new into your fish tank or your reptile tank is wash them down. And for Universal Rocks, I'm going to show you two different ways to do that. One is just simply with a soft scrubbing brush, and the second one is with a power washer. What I'd like to show you is how easily you can cut this to fit into your tank. Every tank's made a little bit different in size because there's so many different aquarium manufacturers out there. So if you need to cut it, this is a simple way on how you can do that. So what I have here is a rocky foam background and a rocky ledge background. I'm going to show you each of these backgrounds how to cut a piece of extra length off them. Firstly, you always got to mark it. So black marker. Could be anything, could be a sharp pen or pencil or what have you. So example is I'm just going to take ½ an inch off the side. So mark that. The same time I'm going to take a little bit more and just show you when you cut through where it's a lot more rugged and three-dimensional, how you got to cut that. So at the moment you turn that around. So for instance, I needed to cut a couple of inches off. You would mark that 2 inches. Bring it through, mark that. Okay, once that's marked, just using a little handsaw. Finer teeth is better than when it's really rough teeth. That can tear the product. So just a fine tooth, even finer than that, wouldn't go astray. Put it just over the edge of your bench you're working on. So we've just cut that off there, nice straight edge, and now that'll fit into the tank nice and tight up against the glass edge. Okay, so that's the rocky one done. We'll do the ledge one. So in this case, coming through a bit of this three-dimensional section here. Just going to take a little bit more time with this one. Mind you, if say that bottom corner broke off when you were doing that, you can actually just super glue it back on. The next thing we need to do is put the aquarium background into the aquarium or into the reptile enclosure. If it's going in an aquarium, before what we were using was magnets to hold it in place, and some of the time those are working good and sometimes not so good, so we came up with some plastic clips which hold it right at the back and at the top of the tank. If you've got a reptile enclosure, you can't have those clips over the top of the tank because then the animal may be able to get out between the wire top and the clip. So in that case, what you need to do maybe is silicone it in place. Otherwise you can sometimes just get away with all pushing your gravel against the base of it and pushing it right up against the back of the tank. So I've just shown how you can wash the product down. Second to that, I've shown you how you can cut it, so if you need to cut it to make sure it fits into your aquarium. The third thing to do is to actually put it into the aquarium. We've got some plastic clips that I'll show you in a minute how you can put those over the top of the tank to hold that in place. You can also turn the background around, get some silicone, and these higher points that will touch the back of the fish tank, you can put some big blobs of silicone on those points, put that into the tank, and then put some heavy weight on that till the silicone's dry, and that'll hold it in place. Or another way, if you don't want any insects or anything to get behind it, the background, then what we do is we silicone all the way around the outside of the tank, all the way around the outside of the background, I should say, and we get some crushed rock and sand, and I'll show you in a minute how you can make your own from rock at home. So we put the silicone around, we throw the sand on there, and then we use a little brush there and dab the sand all the way in. That way it textures it, and it also makes the colour in it and blends in with the background. Okay, so what I've got in my hand is some different colours. These colours are just different coloured sands, and what you'll do is you'll throw them onto the wet silicone, and that'll camouflage the silicone to match into the rock. And you can buy those, we sell those, but hey, if you're a little bit cheap and you don't want to buy anything, then go to the garden, grab a rock out of the garden, and you'll find there's different parts on the rock which are different colours. Like that's light, that's a bit darker. So what you do is you just grab a hammer, get a table, do it on the driveway, doesn't matter, and then you just crush it up. Once you've crushed this up really fine, okay, and you've got enough variation, so you want some of this lighter colour as well. So we've got a couple of different colours happening here, and if I went over that rock a bit more, I'd probably get a third one. So we bring those together. Okay. You can crush it up a bit finer than that, but at the end of the day, that's what we're after. That's what we want to throw into the wet silicone. So we've filled our tank up here, we've let the water settle, and we've put a bunch of fish in there, and it looks pretty natural. That's the exact look that you want to see when you go into a zoo. And how long did that take? And you can do that at your house as well. So for all you reptile lovers, I'm actually going to just set up a tank just to show you as well how easy that is. What I've got here is a couple of little bearded dragons, and by the way, I grew up in Australia. I now live in America, but I grew up in Australia catching these out in our local bushland, and they hated being picked up. All these tame ones over here, they don't mind it at all, and they're a fantastic pet. But I can assure you, when I was a young fella catching these, they weren't very happy at all. So I think this is a perfect home now. It's got a lot of for a tank, which, you know, if you didn't have a background, if you just had a photo or just glass at the back of the tank, then all they've got to walk on is the base of the tank. Now they've got the base of the tank, and also they've got all the walls and the ledges. They love it. I've had them in our fish tanks with our backgrounds for a long, long time. So let's put them in.